hover train has left the city of Estuar and is now just rocketing across at a very, solid clip, probably about like 100 miles an hour, just cruising across the Slofskar Hills. It seems, as you guys are catching the random glip, looks out the barred windows, it's a very stark landscape. There's very large dervishes of sand being kicked about. It almost looks like there's, every time you look from one side to the other, a new dervish kind of spinning up. Oh yeah. Except the scale of these are just very, somewhere in between a full-scale tornado and just, looks like it probably could do some serious damage if you were out there. Luckily, it seems that the train that you're on is, for all of its lacking in visual appeal, pretty sturdy. You still feel the occasional jostling of when the elevation changes and the grav platforms underneath kind of lose that sort of like buffer and kind of re-engage. So there's kind of a lurch in the stomach a little bit. But generally, you guys have kind of kept to your end of the train. Your compatriot has not moved. She's seemed to have found some semblance of a comfortable position between the two, for lack of a better term, benches that seem to be the only furniture in this car. Zedix, I believe, is curled up trying to nap underneath.
Laid straight.
Yeah. And
planking on the floor.
you have the still the two Kasathis that have largely just kind of kept to themselves, been talking, and the group of three at the front, the two humans, and then their much larger compatriot. The three of them just kind of also keeping to themselves, and it's largely been a very uneventful first couple of hours. So we're picking up now about 3-4 hours in, and it seems like, just judging by the distance, it's going to be a couple of days in terms of travel time. But who knows? The speed that you guys are going might be exaggerated, might not be.
What time of day is it right now?
Right now it's about getting to be that late afternoon. You guys left at about midday from Estuar, so we're looking at probably about like 4 or 5 Actonian Standard Time.
And Shando's still sleeping, or
She
relaxed? Or?
Yeah, well, I mean, it from your kind of perspective. I mean, she's just laid up kind of horizontally, like diagonally across actually the benches, and she's got her kind of hood slightly tilted down, and has not said a word since you guys got on the train. Largely just seems to be trying to pass the time by sleeping.
Okay, I'm gonna talk in telepathy to Skadat. What do you think about Shando?
I like her.
You guys met her at that bar?
Yeah.
What was she doing?
Drinking.
Oh, so you just happened to find her there?
Me and Ted got in a bit of a scuff up.
You got in a fight?
Yeah, didn't quite get that far,
Were their weapons drawn?
but
Okay.
but she intervened and kind of put a stop to it.
Oh, she did.
Yep.
So you didn't know she was there beforehand?
No.
She
Well,
just came in with a gun?
She was just sitting at the bar, and I guess we didn't really pay her much attention. And once she kind of made her presence known, we knew there was something up there.
You think we can trust her?
Seems like it. She's kind of a no-nonsense type, so.
Can I check like the description of this job? Like, is there compensation compensation that we get?
You bring it back up. It looks like the actual amount isn't disclosed, but the initial description of the job is a salvage mission, and it indicates that payment would be, doled out upon completion of said task.
Also, just a heads up, the dudes that we were in that scuffle with.
On this
Yep.
lift?
The two humans with the big guy.
And you look to the front of the train, and you see two humans at the very front of the train who've largely, like I said, kept to
What I
themselves.
understand.
You can kind of you're like poking, like kind of leaning from underneath the bench. You're kind of like leaning and looking out. And you kind of catch the tops of two human heads, and on the seat like across from them is a very large looking Vesk who, as you're
Put up a
looking
fight with that?
as you're looking, you see his eyes kind of like lock yours.
Ever?
Not the big guy. He's just their backup to make him seem tough.
I mean, they looked up with him.
What were the race of
with
the
him.
two on the
We
opposite
could've-
of those guys?
So the layout is it's at the front of the train
Yeah.
is the two humans and the Vesk.
Yep.
Then on the they're in the front right. In the kind of midway point, there's two Kasathas males, and they're on the left-hand side. They've kept to themselves. They haven't really said anything to anybody besides each other, and they seem to be just kind of, occasionally talking and not really like looking around too much. Seem to be just trying to pass the time. Then Shando's on the right-hand side, and then you guys have taken up residence on the back. Set
Back to the
of-
bus kids.
Back of the bus kids. And
Feel all the bumps.
as you kind of feel a very large kind of drop from like the train kind of shifting in elevation, you remember, oh shit, and you like look out the back, and luckily Buzz is just still standing there. He's like got one arm like grabbing the
Yeah.
edge of one of the containers, but you can see like his feet are like coming back down. Like he was like airborne for a second, but he just kind of
He's got incredible grip strength. So.
yeah.
But
Good core.
yeah, the Vesk wasn't there at the time. We we could have taken those guys, I'm sure, but
What did
Shando.
did you start it or did they start it?
Ted started it.
I guess I should have known.
You know what mindset he's in right now.
No, yeah, well, he's been through a lot. I don't think they know that.
Right, exactly.
I would have rather had them on our side than kind of at odds with us now.
Right, but I mean, with us, we should be fine with all of us here. But just heads up, keep eyes on them just in case they start moving for little bro here.
Definitely.
You hear off the side a sudden kind of long drawn out as long bolts of like orange lightning start kind of hitting off in the distance, and they just seem to prolong, connect to the ground, and just you see this long dancing kind of myriad of electrical activity off the left hand side, and
Soren, stop it.
the wind is
Dang,
really
man.
starting to kind of pick up off that side, and you can kind of feel almost in reaction the movement of the train itself kind of like shifting a little bit away from this, and you see just from just judging kind of off of the small particulates that seem to be kind of whipping it close to the train, like the winds are pretty nasty outside, and even if you got anywhere closer to that, it'd be really nasty, so it seems like the environment itself is also at odds, but
You guys lived here, huh?
Yep. I'm typing away at probably defining more set objectives for what Buzz is doing on this thing, and then just look up out the window. Oh yeah. Good old copper ion storm in the atmosphere. No big deal.
Sure. Okay.
We'll be all right.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, you see what happens is all the dust on the planet, with the strong winds, builds
Soren.
up friction over time. And this friction can actually increase the
What do you think of Shando,
charge
man?
in the electrons
Shando, right?
in the atmosphere,
This isn't
which
telepathy right now.
goes with the ions, and sometimes
I don't really have an
storm.
opinion on her.
That's why the orange lightning and all the But
She
we'll-
doesn't
we
know
should
too
be
much
okay.
about
We should be
us.
fine.
We don't know too much about her.
I know, we just know
As far
that-
as you could tell, he was just, like not saying anything, just seemed to be listening.
Oh, he was
Wasn't looking
wrapped
at-
in what I was saying.
Oh, yeah, totally.